Hey guys, this is a quick update on how do you install Debian. So let's quickly jump in. So you first go to Debian website. Okay, so in this site you may not see any direct installation link or a download link. So what you have to do is you have to click on the getting Debian CD DVD ISO image if you want for CD DVD, or you can go with network or buy the CDs, but this is the download option for DVD and CD. Any of these option works. Preferably you can use a direct HTTP or FTP download. Go with the stable release. Right, so you can either download a DVD format or a CD format, and then select the appropriate architecture. So the PC architecture, if you have a desktop and then it's a 64-bit, even if it is Intel or AMD, you should select the AMD 64. If it's 32-bit, then you can select i386. If you are running Raspberry Pi or an SBC single board computers, you can select ARM based or any of these architectures, whatever fits your device hardware. So since I'm using 64-bit Intel processor, I'm selecting AMD 64. Scroll down here, you can see the downloadable links. Quick review about this net install. How this net install works is essentially it will give you a 300 or 400 MB, or in this case let's say a small size of installer. So once you select this installer of let's say 336 MB, during the installation OS installation process, it will download the remaining things, and then you can select and download whatever you like. Apart from this CD, if you have, it contains the essential things in the single CD. So if you want to install the same thing in multiple hardwares, you should go with this option, and later on you can update as you want. So this is what I have already downloaded. I'm going to install it in a virtual machine. I prefer using virtual machine because it will essentially it will help. It will not have much chances to corrupt my hardware, although it will be a little slow, and I don't have any requirement to make it very fast or something. It will be a one OS running inside another, but yeah, that's how it is. We compromise little bit of speed and gain a lot of benefits, like we can have backups. It's never going to corrupt my hard drive, or if I directly try to install create partitions and dual boot, it's messy. It's messy. So another thing is I can limit the risky, let's say if I have some software that I'm going to use. In fact, this is the main reason I'm using right now, installing it right now. So I know after installation I may need to uninstall, and in Mac even uninstallation process not easy, and you may have files here and there. So it's always pretty easy to create a virtual machine, do the risky stuff there, and then you can quickly delete just a single file. You can simply delete it, and then the OS is gone. And then same thing for backup, just backup a file, and then you have an entire computer backed up. You can use that same file across multiple machines. So there are nice benefits. So I've downloaded it here already. So let me start a virtual box. So this is one of the software. There are alternative softwares as well. You can use VMware or KMU or other. There are other virtualization options. Sorry, this. Okay, so you have to, let's get started of the installation process. You have to click on this new. Then you can give a Debian plain I'm going to use, because I will not use a GUI in this case. 1 gig is enough for without GUI use. Okay, 8 GB disk I will create. Dynamic allocated, it's better. So how dynamic allocation works is it's not that it's going to allocate full 8 gigs, or it's going to increase 8 gigs after size is more. It's the other way around. So the maximum capacity is 8 gigs, but it's not going to use the entire 8 gigs. Initially if you are installing for 1 gig, it will occupy that much space. and then later on it will grow, but the limit will be 8 gigs. So that you have to be careful about. And then in this option, forget to mention, select this default one, because there are some benefits of exporting, or in future you can increase the size of hard disk, so you can disk expansion. These things are supported better in this, so leave this option as a default, whatever comes. And yeah, let's create the drive. Okay, so by default it will not ask for the CD that we downloaded or the ISO file that we downloaded. It will just simply, you know, select the defaults and come here. So one thing I like to do is, before I begin anything else, I would like to, you know, increase the processor counts, so its little installation is a bit faster. I don't have to wait for things here and there. I like this much RAM actually, because my MacBook has limited RAM, so I don't want to allocate much here. Okay, so that's fine. So now once you are done with this changes in the system, like from processor core 1 to 4, click on this storage area, and here click on this empty CD. Essentially we are inserting a ISO is similar to a CD file, so we are inserting a new CD here essentially. Okay, so since I download it in my download, it will appear here. Yeah, here it is. Okay, let's see. Okay, so say it's around 700 MB, fine. Okay, so at this point we are almost done with this setup, and then just we have to start it. So essentially it's going to start the process to you know, do the installation. So yeah, I don't know for why it asks again for that, but yeah, it asks. This setup will not be much you know, difficult. Just select the few default things. You have to select your country. Right now I live in India, so I'll select India. Yeah, I use American English and American keyboard. Okay, okay, so this installation is pretty much done. Now it will detect the hardware drives. Okay, so one quick thought about why I'm using Debian, not any other Linux distribution. Debian is the most stable and well known for the scientific use. So if you use this, it's going to be, you know, much easier for installing common softwares, and it's going to be pretty stable, right? So that's one benefit of Debian. Apart from this, it does not include third-party or non-free softwares. It's limited to a free software version. I think this is pretty much for the installation, since we are not using a GUI and other things. It's not going to, you know, ask a lot of questions or bugs, so hopefully it will be quick. Okay, yeah, use entire hard disk. See, this is the file that the 8 gigs hard disk virtual hard drive which we created. It comes here, and it can use the entire 8 gig, so don't worry that it's something else. Yeah, use this VirtualBox hard disk and all file in one partition. If you are, you know, advanced user, you can have multiple, especially at home partition separately. So the benefit is, in future, if you want to, you know, you want to move your stuff to some other place, you can take a backup of your home partition and then share it across other machines. You will not lose your data. If you use this option and then for some reason your Linux got corrupted and you need to reinstall, all the data will be corrupted. So that is the reason we go with a separate, at least separate home partition. So it will save all your user data, because the users get created under this home partition. So that's a benefit of using this, but for simplicity, not going to select this as of now. But yeah, it's always better to go with this option. And but yeah, you need to make sure you have sufficient space for the separate partitions. You need to manage these partitions. So for the new users, just go with everything at the same place. It's not going to disappoint you. Yeah, so it has a swap almost same as the RAM that we gave. The remaining it's going to use, that's fine. Okay, write changes to disk, yes. So just change it no to yes, and then it will allow to continue. Okay, so the installation process is just begun. So few key things. This the resolution for some reason it's very less, it's difficult to view, the letters becomes very small. That's how it is. We have to bear with it. There are some other options. Once we complete the installation, we have some option to install guest editions, and then that will allow it to have a full scale operation. But since I'm just going with a serverless, just plain terminal based installation, I don't want to use a GUI, so I will be fine with this. Yeah, and then pretty soon it will ask for the software installation, where you can configure what you need, what all the things you need. Come on. Okay, now it will ask network mirror, use a network mirror. Okay, at this point I don't want to use it, but you should use it. It will save your time after installation when you try to update it. No, I don't want to participate in surveys or send any data. All right, so here it says system utilities I want. I don't want XFC, and I don't want a Debian desktop environment. So one thing you need to remember is the networking options of this. So let me quickly show a little bit about this. So when you install anything in this virtual machine, this is the network of the host this is called the host. So in this case the Mac is a host, and this Debian is a guest operating system. So the whatever network that is connected to the host, that network is translated in a way to the guest operating system. So this is called network address translation, and these there are various options apart from this that can be configured, and that's how this gets the internet. Essentially for the guest, it's direct in network connection. You don't need to worry about the Wi-Fi and other configuration, because it directly have the network connected with the host, and it utilizes the host network, and that can be easily disabled also. So once since it is running right now, it's disabled, but once it stops, you can configure and then disable, and you can add multiple adapters as well. Apart from this, you can even do networking between the virtual machines. So there are a lot of good options provided here. We'll not go in deep on this as of now. So let's get install the group on the master boot record. Yes. Okay, this is a bug. The cursor gets disappeared for some time, so that's fine, and I would like to use it on this. Continue. So I'm using tab and enter because the mouse cursor has disappeared. Installation is complete now. Okay, so let's go to continue, and then it will reboot now, and essentially it will remove the CD that we inserted during the installation. Okay, so this is up and running now, and let me show you. So once its installation completes, the CD gets automatically removed. If you remember, earlier we inserted the CD here. This is the CD that we used earlier. Okay, so sorry for this. Yeah, okay, so now it has for logging. Okay, here I'm in. I can note down the IP address. See, it's 10.02.15 in my case, so it's just that's how you can install the Debian from the net. And thanks for watching.